We're always being told to build mental clarity, right? To add new habits, new life hacks, new routines. But what if that whole idea is kind of backward? What if mental clarity isn't something you build, but something you uncover? What if it's our natural state, just buried under all the noise? Okay, let's dive into this.
And this idea right here, it just frames the whole thing perfectly. I want you to think of your mind like a garden. Now, when a garden gets overgrown with weeds, you don't panic. You don't try to plant more flowers on top of the mess, right? No, you patiently, carefully clear away what doesn't belong. And in doing that, you reveal the beauty that was there all along. And your mind? It's exactly the same.
And that's where we hit this really weird paradox in our time, right? We have more apps for productivity, more access to information, and more ways to connect with people than at any point in human history. And yet, so many of us feel more scattered, more anxious, and more disconnected than ever before. It's like we've been trying to tend to that beautiful garden with a leaf blower and a flamethrower. All the wrong tools.
So, if our modern tools aren't working, where do we find the right ones? Well, the answer comes from this totally unexpected but incredibly powerful fusion, the deep, introspective wisdom of Zen Buddhism and the practical life-or-death discipline of Bushido, the way of the samurai warrior. And what's so cool about this is how these two things just complete each other. Zen gives you this profound understanding of your own mind. It's the why. It's the map of the inner world. But Bushido? That provides the urgency, the battlefield-tested application for when things get real. That's the how. You put them together and you get a complete system for not just surviving, but actually thriving under pressure.
All right, so this incredible combination gives us 4 keys to unlock that natural state of clarity we're all looking for. Let's break them down, one by one.
Okay, first up is a concept called mushin. Now, it literally translates to no mind. And right away, that sounds weird, right? This is probably the most misunderstood idea of the bunch. It does not mean having a blank, empty head or being some kind of zombie. No way! It's something way, way more powerful.
I want you to picture a master pianist, totally lost in a performance. They're not sitting there thinking, okay, now my pinky finger needs to hit the C sharp. No, their hands are just flying. They are the music. Action and awareness have become one single thing. That is mushin. It's what modern science calls a flow state, where you're so absorbed in what you're doing that you perform effortlessly, almost perfectly.
So let's be super clear here. Mushin is the exact opposite of being mindless. Like when you're just scrolling on your phone. That's disconnected, partial, almost robotic attention. Mushin is a state of heightened, total, present moment awareness. It's experiencing life directly, without that constant narrator in your head judging and commenting on everything. It's pure, unfiltered experience.
All right, so that's mushin. Let's build on that with our second key, fudoshin, which translates to the immovable mind. This is all about developing an unshakable inner calm, a deep emotional stability, no matter what kind of chaos is erupting around you.
Oh man, I love this metaphor. Because fudoshin isn't about being rigid or stubbornly resisting the storms of life. It's about being like that giant oak tree. Your branches might sway and bend in the wind, but your core, your trunk, your roots, remains absolutely steady and centered. It's about flexible stability.
And just like with mushin, we've got to be really clear about what this isn't. Fudoshin is not about bottling up your feelings or pretending they're not there. That's suppression, and it's weak. This is the ability to observe your emotions, the anger, the fear, the joy, without getting swept away and controlled by them. It's like knowing that you are the vast open sky, not the passing weather. You can feel everything, but still act from a place of wisdom.
Okay, principle number 3 is called zanshin, or the continuing mind. And honestly, this is the perfect antidote to our crazy multitasking modern world. It's the art of sustained awareness of fully and completely finishing one thing before you even think about moving to the next.
This image of the archer just explains it perfectly, doesn't it? For the master archer, the shot isn't over when the arrow leaves the bow. They remain in their stance, holding their form, following the arrow's entire flight path with their awareness. They stay with the action until it is absolutely 100% complete. That's how we should treat every single thing we do. So, what's the takeaway for us? Well, instead of jumping from one thing to the next, leaving this trail of mental breadcrumbs and half-finished thoughts, Zanshin teaches us to close the loop on everything. You do one thing, you complete it, you release it, and then you move to the next thing with a totally clear mind. And the crazy thing is, this actually makes you more focused and way less exhausted at the end of the day.
And that brings us to our fourth and final key, shoshin, or beginner's mind. This is the simple but profound practice of seeing the world with fresh eyes, of approaching every single situation with curiosity and openness, no matter how much of an expert you might think you are.
Just imagine a little kid seeing the ocean for the very first time. That absolute wonder, that total openness, no preconceived notions. That's shoshin. It's not about being naive or ignorant. It's about choosing to drop our assumptions so we can see reality as it actually is, not just through the dirty filter of our past experiences and biases.
Man, this is so incredibly relevant for all of us. It's so easy to get trapped by what we think we know, which is often called the expert's curse. Our past knowledge actually blinds us to new solutions. Shoshin is the cure. It lets us ask dumb questions, challenge our own beliefs, and find totally creative possibilities hiding in plain sight.
All right, so we've got these 4 amazing principles: mushin, fudoshin, zanshin, shoshin. But what do we actually do with them? How do we use them in our day-to-day lives? Let's get practical. Let's see how these ancient tools are actually perfectly designed for our modern challenges.
Just take a look at this. The world has changed, but the inner battle, it's pretty much the same. The samurai faced the chaos of the battlefield. We face the chaos of information overload. They dealt with the fear of death. We deal with crushing decision fatigue. They had physical threats. Our biggest threat is to our own attention. The enemy looks different, but the state of mind required to win is exactly the same.
So the core practice here is something called zazen, or sitting meditation. And look, it's way simpler than you probably think. This isn't about achieving some magical state. It's all practical. You sit with a straight spine because it keeps you alert. You keep your eyes slightly open because it keeps you from getting sleepy. You form this hand position because it gives you feedback on your state of mind. That's it. It's just about being aware. And here is a seriously powerful tool you can pull out anytime, anywhere. Samurai used specific breathing techniques to stay calm in the middle of a fight. This 4-4-6-2 breath is one of them. That longer exhale, 6 counts out, is the key. It physically hacks your nervous system and activates your body's natural relaxation response. It's like a physiological reset button for a mind that's spinning out of control.
And this is maybe the most important part of all. Look, understanding all these ideas is fantastic, but it's really just the starting line. The ancient masters talked about a journey of 10,000 days. Real, lasting transformation doesn't come from a weekend workshop. It comes from patient, consistent practice, day in and day out.
But that long journey always begins with a single step. So here's a little invitation for you. I'm not asking you to become a Zen master overnight. Just a simple 7-day experiment. Don't try to master everything at once. Just pick one principle that really resonated with you and one simple practice, and give it a shot for a week. Just explore. See what's possible when you decide to clear a little space in the garden of your mind. And to get you started on that experiment, I'll leave you with this one question. Of the 4 principles we've talked about, mushin, fudoshin, zanshin, and shoshin, which one of those hits home for you? Which one feels like it's speaking directly to what you're dealing with in your life right now? What's the one key that could unlock the biggest change for you starting tomorrow?